Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to bring you my review of the latest horror film from A24, Heretic, written and directed by Scott Beck and Bryan starring Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe East. And this follows two Mormon missionaries who go and visit this older English gentleman and try to teach him about the church, while unbeknownst to them, he has some more insidious ideas in mind for having them in his home. Now, this movie I was very excited for. I missed it at TIFF. But, seeing the trailer, I was really intrigued. Just the premise of, two Mormon missionaries going to this guy's house. Because, for those of you who don't know, I am from the LDS Church. Inactive, mind you. But I really do appreciate when a movie goes out of its way to accurately depict Mormon characters. And so, from the trailer, I was automatically, intrigued. I was like, okay, it seems like they really understand, the ins and outs of the LDS Church, and are going out of their way to really portray these characters in a very authentic way. And that's something I always appreciate when it comes to this. And I will say, in that regard, I'm almost convinced that one of these two guys were a part of the church, because the specific details that they go into are so painstakingly accurate to the history of the church, to the philosophies, to the little things like when they're making fun of them for magic underwear, which technically are temple garments. But I appreciate the movie thoroughly researched the Mormon background and religion, and I really love that about it, because it did feel authentic. It didn't feel like there was anything that was misplaced. I mean, at least in regards to the actual history of the church and whatnot. So in that regard, I really did appreciate this movie on a lot of levels. But I also appreciated that this was less of a horror film than I was thinking it was going to be, and more of a theological discussion about organized religion and what that means, the history of it, the breakdown of it, the appropriation of religious ideas. Was not entirely what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be more like he's going to use their faith against them, and that's sort of part of the idea, but it really is more of a slow burn, philosophical conversation starter, which I really do appreciate, even if I don't entirely agree with the message of the movie, but that's okay. But let's talk about the performance here. And first you have to talk about Hugh Grant, because this guy is cooking, man. I mean, this act of his career has been amazing. From Paddington 2 onwards, it's just been one interesting choice after another with this guy. And I really love how he uses, that charm that he's so well known for, and just employs it in such a disarming way, to the point that you believe he is this master manipulator and gaslighter. It's just absolutely incredible what Hugh Grant does from a character standpoint in this movie, and I really think that he is definitely the standout. But I gotta give a lot of credit to Sophie Thatcher here as Sister Barnes, who really is just so great and brings a lot of emotional depth to her character and the story. There's an intensity to her performance that I more than appreciate. And I really do think Chloe East's Sister Paxton is great as well. I didn't even realize she was the same girl from The Fablemans. So it's kind of funny that you got two very Jesus-loving performances back to back. No, but really, I think they all complement each other perfectly in this trio. And then Topher Grace shows up out of nowhere, and I was like, wait, what? I didn't even recognize him. But he's another, missionary who's in the church, who gets a brief appearance, and I thought he was quite good in his role. But I just really loved how razor sharp a lot of these discussions were. The dialogue just has you at the edge of your seat for the entire film. And I really did love, too, that it was very much this puzzle, It's very labyrinth-esque in that sort of way, where you were trying to find out exactly what Hugh Grant's Mr. Reed is getting at, and making these sisters go through these very specific trials to test their faith, to test, their belief in the religious system in which they are a part of and are perpetuating. And I really, really dug this movie. Now, I will say, one of my few issues that I do have with the film, and maybe it's just how I was feeling at the moment, but the pacing, it does take a while to get going. As I said, it is a slow burn, and you definitely feel it a little bit, but I do appreciate that the movie gives you time to kind of ponder this puzzle which is presented to you as it is presented to our characters in the film. And I just wish that it could have gotten to this point a little bit faster. And I don't know if I entirely agree with all the conversations that they are having around this religion and also certain other religions and what religion means overall. But yet again, I don't know if you are entirely supposed to agree. Because here's the thing. Even I was like, damn, he's making some good points, you know, when it comes to organized religion, even in the LDS Church. And so I really, really do respect what this movie is going for more than anything. It's kind of hard not to when it is so well layered in these discussions, even if some of these points that he brings up are very shallow and surface level, but the movie calls him out on that. And so I don't know. I think that this is one of those movies that if I watch it next year at Halloween, I could end up loving this film, you know. It's one of those things where by the end of the movie, the script is so tight. And that's usually what would make me love something like this. And I really, really love the little details that are set up and paid off by the end of this narrative. It is really, really well done. I mean, I was very, very impressed by Heretic. But I think I need to give it another rewatch to really kind of plant my thoughts on where I land on this. But even so, this is really, really strong offering when it comes to A24 horror. And I think one of the strongest entries they've had in their catalog for a while. I definitely put it in the upper half of A24's filmography. And this is definitely a movie I would love to come back and revisit. And so I'm going to give Heretic an 8 out of 10. This is really a very thought-provoking film and what it has to say about organized religion. And I think really a great horror film as well. There's some really, really great moments. And I really do love that the movie is reserved until it gets to those points. And I really want to see more from these filmmakers because I don't think that they've done anything of note or critical acclaim up to this point. And so I am glad to see that these guys have quite a future ahead of them. And I definitely will be looking forward to their next project, very much so. So yeah, guys, you let me know what you thought about Heretic down in the comments below. How do you think it portrays religion? Do you agree with what it's saying? Do you not? Do you kind of, you know, fall somewhere halfway like I do? Let me know down in the comments below. And please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more movie reviews like this. My next 2 reviews up on the chopping block are going to be A Real Pain and Jacques Audiard's Amelia Perez. So please stay tuned for that and so much more. I will talk to you guys later.